Hi there, folks. This is Stinchfield, the podcast. Welcome. MKUltra. Have you heard of this program? It began in 1953 during the Cold War. The CIA had created this mind control program, basically to experiment on American citizens. It was one of the most brutal, evil, deceitful, destructive programs I think America has ever had. Experimenting on American citizens on behalf of the government is about as low and tyrannical as it gets. So Anna Paulina Luna is the chair of this committee in Congress that held a hearing yesterday on MKUltra. And it was an important hearing, to say the least. And so I want to get into some of that because they go through the way they sought out how to use mind control. Hospitals, prisons, members of our military, you name it. It was very, very scary, and it was all behind the backs of what I would call victims, all right, feeding them LSD in huge amounts to see what that does to the mind, and then ultimately seeing if they could program the mind. And then this brings me to things like when you have assassination attempts, when you have assassinations that are carried out successfully. Were these people programmed by the CIA? Was there mind control here? Is Israel engaging in the same type of thing? Is Russia, China, are our enemies? Are we just trying to keep up? All of it is what we need to figure out because it is a scary, scary, scary time for America. Before we get into that, couple reminders for you. First off, GrantStinchfield.com, GrantStinchfield.com. There is still time to get your Never Surrender 250 anniversary t-shirt. We've got merch up and all kinds of great merch, by the way, at GrantStinchfield.com. That's GrantStinchfield.com. Never surrendered, never will. I designed this shirt myself, George Washington on the front, GrantStinchfield.com. Check that out today. You'll see the link right there on the homepage, and you go into the store, and there's all kinds of great Stinchfield's Army merch. Happy about that. Before we talk about that, though, I want to tell you about Patriot Mobile. PatriotMobile.com/Grant is where I want you to go. I just switched my cell phone. I had to get a new iPhone. You know, it was so easy. Patriot Mobile, literally, I didn't even have to do anything with Patriot Mobile. I had one issue. I called customer service, and it fixed in like 2 minutes. That's what you get with Patriot Mobile, 100% U.S.-based customer service, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. You get a free month service if you use the promo code GRANT. Just call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Tell them I sent you. They're going to take real good care of you. They'll even make you a deal to switch. You choose what network you want to be on, so you don't have to worry about losing service there. They got a performance guarantee that no other company can beat. You will be happy. I promise you, you'll be happy with Patriot Mobile. And if you're not, you come back calling me. And I've said this many times, and I've never had one person tell me they're not happy with Patriot Mobile. All right, with that, folks, now it's time to get the show started.
Uncensored and unapologetic. This is Stinchfield. Here's your host, Grant Stinchfield.
All right, it is great to be here. This MKUltra stuff, quite frankly, is pretty darn scary. So Anna Paulina Luna was the chairwoman of this. And there are some moments that I want to go through of her questioning of witnesses. There's the leftist witness that comes in that basically defends the National Institutes of Health. She has no business even being at this hearing. I don't understand why they brought her in. But this is Anna Paulina Luna.
Operation Paperclip brought over 1,600 German scientists into the United States government after World War II, including individuals who had conducted human experimentation in concentration camps. The CIA and military were aware of their backgrounds and recruited them anyways.
All right, hold on. I'm going to explain this Operation Paperclip. This goes along hand in hand with MKUltra. Apparently, the Germans were working on these same mind control techniques. So we go through World War II, and what happens? America recruits hundreds, if not thousands, of these German scientists to come help us do mind control, what the Germans were just doing. We literally we just beat the Nazis and now recruit the Nazis to help us.
In your research, did you find direct documentation between paperclip scientists and the development of MKUltra's experimental protocols, specifically the use of mescaline, hypnosis, and sensory deprivation, which were techniques also documented at Dachau?
Absolutely. Kurt Blome, who was the chief of biological weapons development for the Nazi government, came to work for the CIA. So did Walter Schreiber, who was the Surgeon General of the Nazi Army. I can just tell a brief story. When I was researching my book, I found what I think might be the first secret CIA prison or black site. It's a nice chalet in Germany. And the guy who now owns it took me into the basement. He said these were the cells where the MKUltra officers, working side by side with Nazis, carried out those gruesome experiments, which were actually just continuations of the experiments that those Nazis had been conducting just a few years earlier right down the road.
Just for timeline and clarification, these experiments were happening after the Nuremberg trials, correct? So the CIA would have known that these were crimes against humanity.
I looked for an episode in which the Nuremberg doctrines were posted on the wall in some MKUltra or CIA office, and I was never able to find any indication that those Nuremberg principles ever were even consulted, much less obeyed.
So they know it's crimes against humanity. Not to mention they go to Germany and you're using Nazi scientists in a secret chalet experimenting on people. What happened to humanity? Now, I understand we just come out of a brutal war. We've got enemies who want to destroy us. Not much different than what we're dealing with today, okay? So here you have the CIA using LSD administered without subjects' knowledge. They use hypnosis, electroshock therapy, sensory deprivation, psychological conditioning, sleep deprivation, all to see if they can control the mind. So how do they manage this? They go into prisons. They went into hospitals. They went into universities. And they all use these institutions as cover for this literally brutal program. Let me play some more of this hearing.
What are the possibilities that what we've learned in MKUltra, now that it has advanced so much to algorithms and the computer and getting to loners, that some of these loners could, through this just mass propagation of whatever you're doing, could cause someone to maybe take a shot at a president?
You understand what he's asking. So Tim Burchett gets right to the heart of it. Is MKUltra operating today? Nobody in the hearing yesterday could give evidence that it was, but they couldn't give evidence that it wasn't either. What Burchett's asking is, could mind control be used to get someone to take a shot at the president? Butler, Pennsylvania, the situation down at his golf course in Palm Beach, the Washington Correspondents' Dinner. Could MKUltra infiltrate the mind and cause them to become an assassin? This is what movies are made of, folks.
I know there's a lot of speculation out there about the Butler shooting, and I guess even the Charlie Kirk shooting. I just hate to speculate because I don't know. I have no firsthand knowledge whether those guys were programmed through radio waves or through their computer activity. So I would never hazard a guess, except to say what I've already said, that they developed means that we've never been told about many years ago, and I imagine they've evolved to be much more effective now. So
let me interrupt you one more time.
All right, before I let Burchett ask the next question, you heard what he just said there. This is important. They've already developed the means to control your mind. That was way back when. Think of the advances in technology today that we're experiencing at a jet-setting pace. Do you not think that the CIA has improved on whatever mind control techniques they perfected in the 1950s and 60s to here we are in 2026, I would say most certainly yes. But what we've proven is that they had it. They've admitted they had this program, and they admitted that some of the program was working.
Apologize again. But don't you think that they could cast this broad net through these algorithms and other things, and maybe they don't know the exact person it's going to affect, but they know what type of person it's going to affect, and they know it's going to happen, and that way they can't predict when it's going to happen, but they think it will happen, and then that way they can sort of wash their hands of this whole thing and say, well, we didn't have anything to do with it, but in effect they really did, because they put this out there, and they continue to put it out there through whatever method you're talking about. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. Ma'am, if you want to jump in.
She's with NIH.
Okay. Doctor, go ahead.
It sounds to me like you're describing something like the Martin Luther King assassination. The FBI didn't carry it out, but it created such a climate just denouncing King as the most dangerous man in America and putting out all this material about how he was helping communists that they must have thought it's going to filter down. Somebody will take action, and then we can say we didn't have anything to do with it.
And James Earl Ray was a third-rate thief. He made an incredible shot, 1 foot on a commode, 1 foot in a bathtub, leaning out of a window, basically. And the next day, or that afternoon, all the shrubbery was cut in front of the flop house he was staying in. There's a lot on that one that will never be discussed.
There's a lot on a lot of things that'll never be discussed, which is really the big problem with, oh boy, I'm going to sneeze. That's never good. Do I got to get back under control? I think so. There's a lot that's never been discussed. And this is the issue with all of this, is that we still don't really know what's going on when it comes to this. These hearings are helpful, but is there any accountability? I'd like to have the president comment and weigh in on this. What does he know? I don't trust the intelligence agencies to give up everything they know, not even the CIA Director Ratcliffe. I think there are things inside the CIA that the ruling class of bureaucrats are keeping from the director of the CIA that can't be made public because people refuse to release it. Well, Nancy Mace has been a great voice in Congress. I was kind of upset that she didn't make her way to move forward in the governor's race in South Carolina. But this was Nancy Mace's line of questioning.
What are some of the worst abuses that you're aware of in the MKUltra program?
I can start by just naming, I'll talk about one in particular that always sticks in my mind. In the federal prison in Lexington, Kentucky, a group of African-American inmates was segregated and fed what were described in the protocol as double, triple, and quadruple doses of LSD every day for 77 days.
Did they all survive?
We have no idea what happened to them.
Wait a second. They're given LSD every day for 70 days in high doses. And we have no idea if they survived or not. I'm going to tell you right now, they didn't survive. If they survived, that would be in the research, right? I mean, why wouldn't you? If they didn't survive, you're not going to put that in there. Everything about this program is secret. So now, to me, it's not even a question of whether it exists. It's how far have we advanced? What are they using currently on people? Are these experiments still going on? I wouldn't be surprised if they were in homeless shelters working on homeless people. Who knows?
This has stuck with me ever since I wrote that book. What happened to them? Did they ever find out what was given to them? Did they think they were going crazy? I think if the...
Do you think we're still experimenting on prisoners or people in prison today?
I don't have any information about that.
Okay, so again, you see the pause, you see the shake. I don't have any information about that. And then he shakes his head. He doesn't have any information that's not going on. He doesn't have any information that is going on. So again, we've got these researchers that come in and speak to Congress. What we don't have is a CIA agent, a high-ranking operative inside the CIA that should be put on notice about what is going on and what isn't going on. So while all this is happening, I don't know what it is about the left, like anything the Republicans do, they just can't get them. I mean, if you had a hearing about cancer, they would be against it because Republicans called the hearing about cancer. I mean, this should be everybody, no matter what party you're in, should be interested in what the government was doing to American citizens. They bring in this plant from the National Institutes of Health. She knows nothing about MKUltra. Why she's there, I have no idea. And our man, the main congressman from Arizona, kind of hammers away at her a little bit.
And right now, we're ceding our leadership in biomedical research to China. That's what's happening right now.
What about covering up harmful side effects of vaccines and the role that the NIH has played in that? What do you have to say about that, ma'am?
So you notice this has nothing to do with MKUltra. This is the same hearing. Cover up of vaccines. She doesn't know anything about MKUltra. She's talking about to redirect about how we're giving up something to China. And so you know what? You want to talk about that? Eli Crane says, well, let's rumble then, okay? We can talk about that. Let's go. Takes two to tango.
The U.S. history of human subjects protection has evolved greatly. Numerous research improprieties from the 50s to the 70s in the United States, including the Tuskegee syphilis study, forced Congress to establish formally federally
I'm not asking you about that.
mandated rules.
You know what I'm asking you about? I'm asking you about how NIH handled COVID. Obviously, this is supposed to be a hearing about MKUltra, but when you gave your opening statement, and I don't even know why you were called to this hearing because you didn't offer anything about MKUltra, but since you are here and you're going to defend NIH, I'm going to call you out on it.
They applaud.
Do you see now what I'm talking about? When you say that the NIH doesn't have integrity problems and trust issues, did you hear the applause in this room? That should tell you right now that you're pretty tone deaf to what the public thinks about how the NIH handled COVID and the cover-up, not only the funding of it, but the cover-up involved in the aftermath. Can you acknowledge that?
I'm sorry, that's not my understanding.
It's not our understanding. Are you freaking kidding me? We know that NIH botched. Well, I don't think they even botched it. I think everything was purposeful. COVID, we don't need to talk about that. We do that a lot on Tuesdays, when I have wellness company doctors on the program. I just want to wrap up MKUltra because I think it was fascinating. The subjects were never consented to this, and most of the records were deliberately destroyed after this. Deliberately destroyed. That means they were hiding something. Everything about our government, going all the way back, maybe before the 50s, I'm sure, but everything I've seen going back to the 50s, everything about government has been a cover-up. Government is never working by and for the people. Name me one thing that government has done well for America. Name me one thing. There isn't anything. I'm not even going to say national defense. I love our military, but what a joke. It's so filled with waste, fraud, and abuse. There's so much spending of money. That's not run properly. And I'm not blaming that on this administration. I'm blaming that on past administrations from the beginning of time. Name me one thing that government has done really, really well. Literally, in the comments, if somebody can, please help me here. There's nothing. There's nothing government does well except cover stuff up. They cover up stuff great. Boy, they'd be great criminals. Oh, wait a second. They are criminals. So now I'm wondering what modern technology has brought to us with the influence on people's minds, mind control. It's not just LSD anymore. That was the 60s. What has technology brought? Elon Musk has this Neuralink. I used to think people were crazy when they said, somebody planted something in my brain. I don't even know if that's crazy anymore. To hear what they were doing to subjects without their knowledge back in the 60s, to think that somebody had something implanted in their brain now, I don't even know if that's crazy. And the reality is, after listening to this MKUltra hearing, I don't even know if you'd need to implant something in their brain. I think the technology is that they could literally change the way you think, force you to do things, control your mind remotely. Science fiction comes to reality, right? Hottie 3G says they let millions of illegals and flood our country. They did that well. Well, you better believe that, Hottie. They did that. They're good at ruining our country. That's a good one. You want to come up with ways to ruin the country? The government does a great job at that. Now, President Trump's trying to turn it around. No doubt about that. But it has most certainly been pretty god-awful, right? Hey, Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. Still time to get in on this deal, by the way, folks. This is 40,000 acres in Wyoming. Just for the 4th of July weekend, they lowered the investment level to come in. I think it's 25,000 now in honor of our 250th birthday to come in. So you ought to check them out if you're thinking about it. You have to be an accredited investor. It's a private placement opportunity. But this is about creating general wealth, finding opportunities that will kick off cash flow for years to come. Okay? LostSoldier.com. This is what oil and gas families have been doing in Texas for a long time. You now have a chance to be part of this. I really like the people running this company. I wouldn't bring it to you if I didn't like them. LostSoldier.com. That's LostSoldier.com. There's stacked formations of high-pressure natural gas. I think they're going to be able to put in 500 wells. The first 25 are what this investment entails, and it's set up for success. LostSoldier.com. That's LostSoldier.com. You get royalties, overriding royalties, the tax benefits up to 100% tax deduction, thanks to the one big, beautiful bill, and stock ownership in LostSoldier.com, which they do want to take public in short order as well. LostSoldier.com, pay them a visit. The members of the team, Rob, he's a great guy. We'll get right back to you, run you through the whole thing. There's some webinars you can watch if you really want to dive deep into it, but this is a great opportunity. LostSoldier.com, I'm proud to be able to bring it to you. Okay. You know what I've been fascinated by? This whole scandal in the WNBA with, it's not even a scandal. These black lesbian players in the WNBA hate Caitlyn Clark and every other successful white player in the league. And you know what? The WNBA, for some reason, is backing up these black goons. Many of them, I think, are transgender. I really do. This Brittany Griner, I'm going to play a clip for you that she comes off to me as a total man. And so I don't think that's fair. Yet Caitlyn Clark still dominating. My favorite player, though, now is not Caitlyn Clark. It's this Sophie Cunningham, the one who was doing this, pointing at the other team after they went after Caitlyn Clark. Let me play a clip for you because it shows the beatdown that Caitlyn Clark got and the lack of any real discipline against the players that are going after Caitlyn Clark with a vengeance. Like, literally, it's like meeting her in a dark alley with baseball bats.
Well, so during real time last night, I did not see that happen. I don't, none of our team saw it happen because I promise you if we would have seen that happen, we would have had her back.
Look at that.
Unfortunately, this type of shit happens every single game to her, and the league and the refs do absolutely nothing about it.
It's been a minute since you got fined on this podcast.
I have, but then you see the videos of literally kneeing and cheap shotting C in the throat. If she did that to any of our teammates, we'd be pissed. But they're definitely targeting her, and the league and the refs do nothing to protect her.
Nothing. I mean, have you seen the video of what is going on and no calls? I mean, let me I got to get the volume just right so I can talk over it. Let me see if I can do this. no matter what. I mean, you know, she's something else. You know, I never liked watching women's basketball. I still don't really like watching women's basketball. But Caitlin Clark is impressive. And I first learned about her. I've told you about my buddy Billy Bob Harris, who died, I guess it was last year, who died 80-something years old. He was the first one that turned me on to Caitlin Clark. Fine. Caitlin Clark's great. But Sophie Cunningham's even better. And Sophie Cunningham's hot, too. I don't mind saying it. I hope she doesn't mind me saying it. But she is a smoke show, Caitlin Clark. Sophie Cunningham. Look at her.
I was just kind of pointing, and she's like, don't you point at me. And I was like, oh, shouldn't have said that. And I didn't say
They really are. What is this? I just want to see this. Oh, look at that. Tell me she's not great. So, she's fabulous. Now, you see the beatdown that Caitlin Clark gets. You know that it has something to do with, well, not something to do with, you know that it has to do with her race. You know they hate her because she's white. You know they hate her because she's successful. She single-handedly infused the WNBA with excitement. And the black people are mad because they believe it's because Caitlin Clark's white. I'm not convinced that, though I do believe there's part of that. I think people are not used to seeing Larry Bird with long hair on a WNBA court, right? I mean, that's who Caitlin Clark is. She kind of plays like Larry Bird, right? It's unbelievable to watch. And I think the novelty is that she's white. I'm not going to say that it isn't. But you don't come after her. So what does ABC do? This is how bad the media is. They want to protect minorities, thugs, criminality. And this is the story that ABC comes up with, defending the people punching Caitlin Clark?
Now, the fallout from the WNBA incident involving Caitlin Clark and Alyssa Thomas. Thomas, who was a 6-time All-Star for the Mercury, says she has received death threats after she appeared to push her fist into Clark's throat in a recent game.
Appeared to push her fist? What do you mean appeared to push her fist? She punches her in the throat. You don't need to say appeared when it's on video. And you're worried about this girl getting death threats when literally Caitlin Clark is trying to be assassinated every game she plays? My Lord.
Shannon Alley is here with this story. This is getting a lot of attention.
It's getting so much attention. Alyssa Thomas says this was a complete accident. She says she didn't mean to do this, but now she's being painted as a thug, getting death threats. She's sick and tired of the league not doing more to protect its players off the court.
Wait a second. I'm sick and tired of the league not doing anything to protect its players on the court. How bogus of a piece is this by ABC? Let me just remind you here of I mean, I'll play her in the beginning, but look.
Well, so during real time
appears?
Last night, I did not see that happen. I don't.
Appears and then she's kneed. It's nothing appeared about it. Do I dare play more of this ABC garbage?
This morning, WNBA star Alyssa Thomas blasting Commissioner Kathy Engelbert after Alyssa says she received death threats over this incident with Caitlin Clark.
It appears.
There's a difference between trolling and there's a difference between hatred. And the hatred that we're experiencing over a play that honestly was a complete accident.
The play happened at last Wednesday night's game between the Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever. Clark at the bottom of a scramble for the ball.
Does that look like an
At
accident?
one point, Thomas appears to push into Clark's neck. Following a post-game review, the league upgrading the initial no call to a flagrant 2, suspending Thomas for 1 game.
The fist in the throat is crazy. It's crazy. It's dangerous.
Thomas says in the wake of the game, she and her family have been threatened and she's been called racial slurs.
Wait a second. So there's a no call in the game, all right? Like, what are the referees looking at? I think they've been told, let him beat the crap out of Caitlyn Clark. Maybe they want to compete with professional wrestling. I don't know. So there's a no call. The WNBA upgrades it to a flagrant 2, suspends her for a game, and ABC is going to come out with a piece somehow with compassion for the perpetrator. It borderlines. No, it doesn't borderline. It's criminal what she did. It's assault. And yet ABC is going to defend it. Why? Because the one player is black and the other player is white, and God forbid the white person can never be a victim?
Criticizing WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert for not doing enough to protect players.
We're so concerned about the safety on the court, but time and time again, we're having people threatening our lives. I'm sick and tired of it, and it's time for them to step up and have our backs.
Excuse me. Time for them to step up and have your backs. You put a fist in the throat of Caitlyn Clark. And then as you watch the play again, it looks like somebody sticks a knee into her as well. She's getting bounced around like a bumper car at a state fair, and they want the WNBA to protect the criminal thugs on the court, literally beating the crap out of Caitlyn Clark. My Lord.
WNBA saying they condemn all forms of hate, saying in a statement, the safety and well-being of everyone in our community is always the league's top priority.
Oh, shut up. Condemn all forms of hate. Stop with the hate bullshit. It's not about hate. It's about criminality. It's about violence. You condemn all forms of violence. How about that? Okay?
Adding the league and security team have been in contact with the Phoenix Mercury organization and remain committed to protecting all players. We did reach out to the Fever. We have not heard back, but the Fever will play the Mercury again July 9th. Whether you believe this was an accident or not, no one deserves death threats.
No one does.
No one deserves death threats. Oh, the poor woman. She's getting death threats. I don't even believe she's getting death threats. You didn't show me any. You didn't play any voicemails. Who's threatening to kill her? Now, you talk about some tweet online. I get tweets online all the time telling me they're going to put a shotgun up my you-know-what. Am I out here whining and complaining about it? No, because they're keyboard warriors, which means they're cowards, okay? ABC's a disgrace, man. It really is. So the folks over at Outkick commented on this, and I thought he did a good job. He goes on Fox News all the time, and I thought he did a good job with his comments on it. I thought I'd play some of them for you.
Why did they leave Caitlyn Clark out of that graphic? I think it's because she's white. I can't believe I have to say this, and it's embarrassing. Caitlyn Clark is the straw that stirs the WNBA drink. Any game that she plays in, her image should be used to sell the fact that the game is going on. Period. End of story. Just like Michael Jordan, just like LeBron, just like Kobe. There is no way on earth that this was anything other than intentional. The WNBA seems obsessed with telling you, yeah, but there's other players, which is fine. Michael Jordan made every other player famous. The reason people cared about Patrick Ewing, by and large, he played against Jordan. The reason why people cared about Reggie Miller, he played against Jordan. Same thing true of Kobe Bryant. Same thing true of LeBron James. Everybody got more famous being in the vicinity of the star. Caitlyn Clark is Michael Jordan. Caitlyn Clark is Kobe Bryant.
I actually said she's Larry Bird. It's a better analogy because she's white. Right? I mean, the reality is she has some fame and fortune because she's white, just like Larry Bird did too. Larry Bird was a phenom because he was white. He was also an unbelievable player, and I didn't give him as much credit when I was a kid as I do now. The guy was fabulous, okay? Fabulous. One of the best players in the NBA, in NBA history. But either way, Caitlyn Clark, Kobe, LeBron, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, whatever.
Caitlyn Clark is LeBron James. You cannot like that, but the data and the ratings overwhelmingly reflect that she is the celestial object that everyone else rotates around, okay? This is not particularly complicated. The WNBA's refusal to acknowledge this is symptomatic of their woke mind virus and their identity politics. And they don't want, this is the truth, they don't want a white, heterosexual woman to be the face of the WNBA. And so they are desperately trying to find other people to be the face of the WNBA. Guess what? Nobody cares. If you have a star, everyone makes more money. Ride them for everything that they are worth. The WNBA's refusal to do this is, I think, racist. And I also think it is, is there anti-heterosexual? I know there's homophobic. Is straight-phobic a thing? It's straight-phobic. If Caitlyn Clark were a gay black woman, they would promote her all the time. Right? Now, you might say the nation wouldn't respond the same way if Caitlyn Clark had the exact same talents and she was a gay black woman. That's a different argument, which may or may not be true. But you got a white straight chick and people care, and everybody's getting richer. Maybe make them even richer. She's the rising tide that lifts all boats. I don't understand it.
I don't either. And she is. The WNBA, for the first time, is bringing in higher revenues than ever before, and I promise you, it's because of Caitlyn Clark. And I promise you this, too. Sophie Cunningham's going to go to number 2. I want to see the jersey sales in the WNBA. How many can they sell? Not very many, right? But the jersey sales, I'll bet you, and it's gonna send the black lesbian players through the roof when they see the jersey sales. Go Caitlyn Clark number 1, Sophie Cunningham number 2. Okay, I guarantee it. Now, you want to know how I know that half of these black lesbian chicks playing in the NBA are maybe transgender? This is Brittany Griner. I want you to listen to her voice here. Is this a woman?
You said you didn't remember what you said.
Listen.
During that viral moment after you fouled out against the Indiana Fever. A lot of people believe what you said was effing white girl or effing white girls. Is it
effing white girl? So that's what she's caught on tape mouthing. Effing white girls. Okay, and you're telling me this isn't about race? Now listen to her voice. Forget about the racism that she engages in. This is a man, okay?
Possible that's what you said.
No, would never say that. Like, there's no place for that in our league. Wouldn't say that.
So even though you can't remember, you know that was not what you said.
I know it wasn't that because I wouldn't use that type of language.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, listen.
No, would never say that. Like, there's no place for that in our league. Wouldn't say that.
So even though you can't remember, you know that was not what you said.
I know it wasn't that because I wouldn't use that type of language.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That does not appear to me to be a woman. Okay? It doesn't. So, Brittany Griner, I don't know what you got going on. Maybe it's the testosterone. I don't know. But she ought to be drug tested for performance enhancers. If she's I mean, it's crazy. Listen to that voice. All right. The Wellness Company. Coming on in the road trip season. TWC.health/Grant. Use the promo code GRANT for 10% off. I have been using my TheraBlue pain gel daily as a preventative. It is peptide-based. It deeply penetrates all my joints. And so typically for me, I really don't have knee pain. I played 4 years of college football. The only thing I got a hip pain here on this right hip. Oh, man. But this TheraBlue really, really helps. It doesn't totally go away, but it really, really, really helps to the point where it makes me, I'm able to sleep at night. Sometimes it hurts when I sleep. When I'm using this TheraGel regularly, TheraBlue it's called, it really helps. TWC.health/Grant. Use the promo code GRANT for 10% off. For all you guys out there, there's Mars. This is the product that will build your testosterone. Maybe this is what Brittany Griner's taking. And then there's Ultimate Spike Detox to get the spike protein out of your system. America 250, nobody celebrates it more as a company than our sponsors on this program. You talk about Patriot Mobile, you talk about Lost Soldier, you talk about the Wellness Company. TWC.health/Grant. Use the promo code GRANT for 10% off. Pay them a visit today, and you'll be happy you do. All right. One of the things that always bothered me now is that we're coming in on America's 250th birthday, July 4th. Okay? And, with that, don't forget, folks, you can get your commemorative America 250, 1776 to 2026 Never Surrendered, Never Will t-shirt with George Washington on it. We made the Stinchfield's Army logo on the sleeve. Wear it proudly. I've got all kinds of merch up. GrantStinchfield.com. That's GrantStinchfield.com. We've got a whole bunch of new t-shirts, including, I'll show you some others next week. I'm really pushing this shirt. It's been selling well, so check that out, all right? GrantStinchfield.com, GrantStinchfield.com for your Stinchfield's Army merch. All right. So coming in on the 250th birthday, the Democrats have embraced not socialism, but communism. This is having a positive effect, okay? Here's the bearer of all bad news. He's always the guy that I love watching on CNN. The only guy I like on CNN is Harry Enton because he normally has good news for Republicans.
Chance to win the Senate. The Republican chances, as you noted, John, the environment is getting a little bit better for Republicans. On May 1, Republicans had a 51% chance to take back the Senate. Now it's a 59% chance. Look, Democrats have a shot here. There are seats on the table, but the fundamentals are against them. And that right now, they're only one of the seats where they need to be. The mathematical problem is there for Democrats at this point. They simply put, have a statistical math problem.
They got a math problem. They got a policy problem. They got a mental problem. The Democrats have all kinds of problems. This looks good. Republicans with a 59% chance of victory. I need to put some money in on Kalshi. I love that site. You know, I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm going to put some money on Republicans holding the Senate. I just don't see how Americans want to embrace socialism. You know, Will Cain had this Democrat socialist chair, Ashik Sadiq, on. And all you have to do is listen to them talk and you realize why they're dumb.
I'm not sure that all your members see that distinction, though, between democratic socialism and communism. Look, let me show you an example. This is National DSA Political Committee member David Jenkins. Watch this.
I mean, our goal is liberation. Our goal is communism. We're a diverse body of libertarian socialists, libertarian Marxists, anarchists, left communists, and other schools of thought within the sort of left wing of the socialist movement.
He says our goal is communism.
We have a big tent of all sorts of ordinary people who have many different ideas about what the pathway is or what the horizon is.
Here goes with the big tent again. We have a big tent. We like socialists and communists. Yes, we have a big tent here as Democrats. Socialists, communists, you name it, you're all welcome. Look, socialism's awful. Communism is even worse. It's the exact opposite of the system America was built on. You want to change America to a communist nation where government controls the means of production? I'm out of business. Does government then own this podcast? And I have to work for the government? And can you imagine how long they keep me employed with the things I'm spouting off about here? Not very long. So that's the kind of craziness. Then we get this from Caitlyn Collins. She has J.D. Pritzker on, the governor of Illinois, who's a billionaire, mind you, okay?
Oust the more moderate establishment members of Congress in their races. Do you think that's good? Are their victories good for your party?
I think what's good is that there are Democrats who are standing up and fighting, that there are Democrats who are standing up and talking about and doing something about addressing the high cost of things. Affordability is an issue that everybody is feeling all across the country. And any Democrat that is standing up and speaking out about that, coming up with solutions for that, and importantly, doing it in a manner that is focused on fighting what Donald Trump is trying to do to raise prices on people, I think those are the people who are winning. So I'm not suggesting that I had one candidate or another in any of these races. I'm just suggesting that that is the recipe for winning in 2026 and I think beyond.
Billionaire who built his entire fortune by using the system of capitalism. Notice I didn't say exploiting. By using the system of capitalism to build a fortune worth $1 billion or more. Now says the recipe for success is socialism, is embracing communist ideals into the Democrat Party. Dude, are you a ding-dong or what? He's not a ding-dong. He's so hungry for his position of power. The billions, he can go have his yachts and his vacations and all that, but he likes being governor. He probably wants to be president of the United States. So he's going to try to Be everything to everybody. That's not how you win an election. Was President Trump everything to everybody? No. He doubled down on the policies he believed in. Build that wall. Remember that? Lock her up. All these things. Drain the swamp. Not wishy-washy. Oh, well, we're a big tent. We'll embrace socialism. I don't think it's great, but it could be good. And no. Tell me how you feel. And then, you know what? If we have more voters than you do, then we win. This was interesting.
My line is they should not be billionaires.
I don't think that we should have billionaires.
You were a billionaire whose net worth Forbes puts at $4.3 billion. What do you make of Democrats in your party as we lead up to 2026 and the midterm elections in 2028 who rail against the billionaire class in your party?
You know, I completely understand when people feel like looking at Elon Musk and what he's done to this country and, you know, with dope.
Wait. Hold on. What Elon Musk has done to this country? Elon Musk employs more people than most companies in the world. Elon Musk has created so much wealth for others, whether it's through stock market investment or whether it's businesses that utilize the products and services that he sells. You're going to say Elon Musk? You have $4.3 billion of net worth. And you're going to somehow say that the people richer than you are evil, but if you got less than 4.3 billion, then you're good? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't mind anybody that has billions of dollars, unless they're evil and they're actually out there to harm America, like you, Pritzker. It's not your money why I don't like you. I want everyone to have the most success that they can ever have. Mainly, I want people to be moved into middle class, but if somebody out there wants to become a billionaire, they should have the ability, the opportunity, and the right to do that. I'm not going to fault them for success. Everyone in this country should strive for success. The difference is success for each individual is different. For some people, success might be making $100,000 a year. For some people, success might be making $1 million a year. For some people, success is making $1 billion. Everything's relative. Whatever your level of success is, go get it. And I'll do everything in my power to make sure you have the opportunity to make your dreams come true. I don't want everybody to be equal. Everybody's not equal. Okay? That's just a reality. But the brightest minds in the world, the people that are willing to work hard, even the ones with not such a bright mind, if they're willing to just go to the mat for their dreams, I want to help you get there. That's not Democrats at all, by a long shot.
And all the things that he blurts out on his own platform on X, when people look at what the other kind of oligarch big tech types have done, right? Those are the examples that people have now of billionaires. Look at Donald Trump. And the way he has treated working class and middle class people. The fact is that I understand why people feel as they do, but I think it's much more about the values that you carry and then carry out. And as somebody who has stood up for a workers' rights amendment and got it passed in the state of Illinois, who's stood up for LGBTQ and reproductive rights, somebody who's legalized cannabis, somebody who's raised the minimum wage in my state for people from $8.25 to $15, you know, I think it's about what do you stand for and what do you actually accomplish for people, not how much money you have.
So when you look at that, do you believe what he's trying to say to you? I don't. I don't believe what he's trying to say at all. The guy's a nutcase. I mean, unbelievable. And this guy, what a hypocrite. What an absolute hypocrite. And then he has the gall to say this about President Trump.
Look, the man is continually suffering from dementia. I don't think he really understands what he's saying.
Do you really think the president has dementia?
I do. I think if you look at any of the videos from 2015 or 2016 and look at how he responded to questions and how he was at press conferences, and then you fast forward and look at him now, I really think that there's something genuinely wrong with him. I'm not a doctor. I haven't diagnosed anything. I'm just suggesting to you that just look at the way he puts words and sentences together and thoughts, and they're almost divergent in the same sentence.
Oh, give me a break. You never said anything about Joe Biden when he literally couldn't even mumble his way through a sentence. And now you're going to say President Trump has dementia? The guy working harder than any other president I've ever seen in my lifetime. The guy who literally is on the ball, making deals that could never be made by any other president. And then I see this yesterday. The teleprompter goes down, but this is a guy with dementia.
And that was not part of the script, because I don't really have a script, because this thing doesn't work. It's appropriate. The one on my right is slightly better than the one on my left. The one on my left is a waste of time. It's a little like politics. The one on my right is a little bit. It's not great. I'd give it about a 2 on the scale of 10.
So that's a guy with dementia? I really don't think so. I don't. What's nice to see is this wild liberal, the Plantier CEO, is now denouncing all of this crazy, wacky leftism, which means more and more people are wising up to what the Democrats' end game is, which is just to steal wealth from one group, give it to another in order so they vote for them. They don't want anybody to have success. They just want to take rich people's money.
And then we have left and right, far left, far right, gone completely nuts. You would think that the greatest problem in the world, if you were on the far left, is somehow it's like if things work, it's evil and bad. By the way, I've been wholesale kicked out of my own party because I warned that this was going to happen on the left. And it is happening.
So it is, and he was right about it. And hold
right,
on a second, I'm going all off kilter here. It is happening. He was right about it. And this is what you get with Democrats. But I don't need to tell you that. All right, no podcast tomorrow morning. I'm off to New York, okay? I'm going to see my folks. Pray for me. They're wild liberals. But we're going to have some fun. Heat wave in New York. I'm trying to get out of Texas heat, and I'm going to 100-degree temperatures in New York. Oy, oy, oy. But it'll be great to see family, my sister, thepetpsychic.com, the conservative pet psychic, I call her. You got to go check her out. She's great. And I'm looking forward to seeing her and my parents, quite frankly, really. It's a huge celebration. America's 250th birthday. I can't wait for Saturday. It's going to be a great holiday. I'm going to be down on the beach doing what you do over there. And I've got my 4th of July shirts. Oh, speaking of which, just to remind you, come on, folks. You need one of these, man. GrantStinchfield.com. They're good for the rest of the year, right? 250th birthday. We celebrate the whole year. 1776 to 2026. Never surrendered, never will. Get it. Stinchfield's Army logo on the sleeve. You're going to love it. A lot of other great T-shirts there, merch, mugs, hats, you name it. Stinchfield's Army is in the house. And with that, folks, Stinchfield's Army rolls because of you. God bless all of you. Thank you to our captain, Captain Shelley, Gibberish Nation, Hottie G, so many of the great regulars in the chat. It's great to have you on. Please like, subscribe to the podcast. We always appreciate it. And we will see you on, I'll see you on the Real America's Voice show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Then I'm taking the whole day off tomorrow, and I'll see you back Monday night. Monday here for the podcast, and then Monday night for the TV show. All right, folks. God bless all of you. We'll see you then. Buddy? How you doing? How you doing, boy?
Goose isn't here, right? Dad?
Nope. Nope, he's not.
Oh, okay. You're leaving, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go move my car, I guess.
Why?
I think I'm parked behind you.
Oh.
I'll move it. Okay.
Yeah. Where are you gonna put it, on the street?
Yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not getting a lunch or anything?
Factors in there.
No. Not doing factor.
You're not doing a factor? Oh boy, I'm